Steam rises from the elegant plates as they crash to the marble floor, porcelain shattering like broken promises. Grace's perfectly manicured hands tremble as she stares at the destruction, her emerald eyes wide with a mixture of terror and defiance. Across the opulent restaurant dining room, Daniel stands frozen, his chef's coat pristine white against the chaos, his expression shifting from confusion to recognition as the truth finally dawns on him. The camera captures the moment when two worlds collide, when past and present merge in a symphony of shattered dreams and unspoken truths. The morning sun filters through the floor-to-ceiling windows of Sterling Tower, casting geometric shadows across the marble lobby. Grace Matthews glides through the entrance, her stilettos clicking rhythmically against the polished floor. At 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighing exactly 104 pounds, she moves with the calculated precision of someone who has transformed herself into perfection. Her platinum blonde hair catches the light as she passes admiring glances from businessmen and security guards alike. The receptionist's eyes follow her with undisguised envy as Grace steps into the private elevator, pressing the button for the penthouse floor where Luxe magazine headquarters awaits. In the elevator's mirrored walls, Grace studies her reflection with the critical eye of someone who once weighed twice as much. Her high cheekbones, sculpted through years of extreme dieting and strategic contouring, create shadows that photographers crave. The designer dress hugs her frame like a second skin, each curve carefully maintained through relentless discipline. Yet behind her confident exterior, her stomach churns with familiar hunger pangs, a constant reminder of the price she pays for her transformation. 3 floors above, Daniel Harrison stands in the pristine kitchen of Harmony Restaurant, his culinary empire's flagship establishment. His dark hair is perfectly styled despite the early hour, and his intense brown eyes scan every detail of the morning prep with the precision of a military general. At 32, he has built a reputation as the most innovative molecular gastronomist in the city, his restaurants earning Michelin stars and celebrity clientele. His movements are economical and purposeful as he inspects each station, his presence commanding respect and a hint of fear from his kitchen staff. The memory of last week's food competition still burns in his mind like an overcooked sauce. The mysterious supermodel who had publicly humiliated his signature dish, dismissing months of culinary innovation with a single dismissive bite, haunts his professional pride. Her stunning beauty had been matched only by the venom in her critique, and Daniel finds himself simultaneously fascinated and infuriated by her audacity. Grace arrives at the magazine's photography studio, where her assistant Maya rushes to greet her with a steaming cup of black coffee and a concerned expression. The tension in Grace's shoulders is visible as she reviews the day's shooting schedule, her fingers unconsciously calculating the calories in each potential wardrobe change. The photographer, a trendy European with paint-splattered jeans, gestures enthusiastically about the concept, while Grace nods mechanically, her mind elsewhere. She catches her reflection in the makeup mirror and sees not the successful supermodel everyone else admires, but the ghost of the overweight girl she once was, the girl whose heart was shattered by a cruel rejection 10 years ago. The call comes during Grace's lunch break, though lunch for her consists of precisely 12 almonds and half a cup of herbal tea. Maya's voice carries an unusual excitement as she explains the opportunity from Harmony Restaurant Group. They want Grace as their new brand ambassador, a lucrative contract that would cement her position at the top of the modeling industry. The irony is not lost on Grace as she realizes Daniel Harrison, the man who once called her disgusting, now wants to pay her millions to represent his brand. Daniel paces his office, studying Grace's portfolio spread across his mahogany desk. Her transformation from the mysterious food critic who destroyed his reputation to potential brand ambassador creates a perfect storm of business opportunity and personal intrigue. His business advisor presents spreadsheets showing how Grace's endorsement could restore their 5-star rating and attract the millennial demographic they desperately need. Yet something about her previous behavior suggests hidden depths, a mystery that Daniel finds himself compelled to solve. The meeting is scheduled for 6 o'clock at Harmony's private dining room, an intimate space reserved for VIP clients and business negotiations. Grace arrives 15 minutes early, her nervous energy masked by practiced poise. She wears a midnight blue dress that emphasizes her ethereal beauty, while hiding the anxiety that courses through her veins. The maitre d' escorts her through the main dining room, where curious patrons pause their conversations to admire her graceful movements. Daniel emerges from the kitchen wearing his signature black chef's coat, his confidence evident in every stride. He has planned this evening meticulously, selecting dishes that showcase his culinary philosophy while testing Grace's knowledge and reactions. The dining room has been transformed into an intimate sanctuary with dimmed lighting, candles flickering against crystal glasses, and soft jazz music creating an atmosphere of sophisticated seduction. Their initial conversation flows with professional courtesy, both parties maintaining careful distance while sizing up their opponent. Grace compliments the restaurant's ambiance with practiced charm, while Daniel explains his vision for the brand partnership with calculated enthusiasm. Yet beneath their polite exchanges, undercurrents of tension and unresolved conflict simmer like a reduction waiting to reach the perfect consistency. The first course arrives like a work of art, Daniel's signature molecular gastronomy transformed into edible poetry. Grace stares at the deconstructed foie gras lollipop, her mind immediately calculating the catastrophic caloric content that could destroy months of careful maintenance. Her fork hovers over the dish as internal panic wars with professional obligation, while Daniel watches her reaction with intense scrutiny. When Grace politely declines to taste the appetizer, citing dietary restrictions, Daniel's expression shifts from confusion to suspicion. His questions become more pointed, probing the contradictions between her public persona and private behavior. The conversation takes on the rhythm of a chess match, each player maneuvering for strategic advantage while concealing their true motivations. The tension escalates as course after course arrives, each dish more tempting and dangerous than the last. Grace's excuses become increasingly strained as Daniel's patience wears thin. His professional pride, already wounded by her previous public criticism, cannot tolerate another rejection of his culinary artistry. The intimate dining room becomes a battlefield where food serves as both weapon and shield. Daniel's frustration finally explodes in accusations of unprofessionalism and ingratitude. He questions Grace's motives, suggesting she orchestrated their previous encounter for publicity and is now playing games to extract more money from the partnership. His words cut through Grace's carefully constructed facade like a knife through butter, exposing the raw vulnerability she has spent years hiding. Grace's composure begins to crack under the pressure of Daniel's interrogation and the overwhelming temptation of the elaborate feast before her. Her hands shake as memories flood back of the last time she allowed herself to eat freely, the rapid weight gain that followed, and the humiliation of losing control. The restaurant's warm lighting seems to mock her as she struggles between her desperate hunger and paralyzing fear of returning to her former self. The breaking point comes when Daniel, interpreting her behavior as calculated manipulation, offers her money to simply walk away from the partnership. His casual dismissal of her worth as anything more than a mercenary opportunist shatters the last vestiges of Grace's professional mask. The successful supermodel dissolves, revealing the wounded girl who was once ridiculed and rejected by this same man. In a moment of devastating vulnerability, Grace reveals her true identity as Lily Thompson, the overweight girl Daniel had cruelly rejected at their high school graduation party 10 years ago. Her voice breaks as she describes the years of starvation, the medical condition that threatens to reverse her transformation if she consumes more than 1,000 calories per day, and the daily torture of maintaining an image that requires constant sacrifice. Daniel's face transforms as recognition floods his features, the arrogant chef replaced by a man confronting the consequences of his past cruelty. The sophisticated restaurant atmosphere suddenly feels suffocating as the weight of unresolved history settles between them like a heavy blanket. Grace's tears fall onto her untouched plate as she finally releases years of suppressed pain and anger. The revelation creates a moment of profound silence, broken only by the soft jazz music that now seems inappropriately cheerful. Daniel reaches across the table, his hand stopping just short of touching Grace's trembling fingers as he struggles to process the magnitude of what he has learned. The successful restaurateur finds himself face to face with the ghost of his own adolescent cruelty. forced to confront how his words shaped another person's entire existence. Grace wipes her tears with the restaurant's pristine napkin, her makeup smeared, but her dignity slowly returning. She explains how every day requires careful calculation, every meal a potential disaster, every moment of weakness a threat to the life she has built from the ashes of her former self. Her transformation was not vanity, but survival, a desperate attempt to escape the prison of society's judgment and find acceptance in a world that worships physical perfection. Daniel's apology comes slowly, weighted with the realization that simple words cannot undo years of suffering. He begins to understand that his casual cruelty as a teenager created ripple effects that extended far beyond a single moment of rejection. The recognition that he bears responsibility for Grace's extreme measures and ongoing medical condition leaves him speechless with guilt and regret. Their conversation shifts from confrontation to painful honesty, as both acknowledge the damage that has been done and the impossibility of returning to innocence. Grace's revelation creates an unexpected intimacy between them, the shared weight of truth more powerful than any romantic gesture or business negotiation. They sit in the ruins of their assumptions about each other, forced to rebuild their understanding from the ground up. As the evening winds down, Grace makes a startling discovery that her anxiety-induced hunger has not triggered the usual rapid weight gain. For the first time in years, she wonders if her medical condition might be more psychological than physical, a prison she has created through fear and self-doubt. The possibility of freedom from her daily caloric calculations offers a glimpse of hope she had not dared to imagine. Daniel escorts Grace to the restaurant's entrance, their dynamic forever changed by the evening's revelations. The city lights reflect in the restaurant's windows like stars, creating a backdrop for their tentative first steps toward understanding. Neither knows what comes next, but both sense that their intertwined destinies are far from resolved. As Grace's car disappears into the night traffic, Daniel returns to find an envelope slipped under his office door. Inside, a single photograph shows him and Grace together at their high school graduation party. But Grace appears exactly as she does now, impossibly thin and beautiful. On the back, an unfamiliar handwriting poses a chilling question that will haunt Daniel until their next encounter. What if everything you think you know about that night is wrong? The camera lingers on Daniel's confused expression as he studies the impossible photograph, the city lights casting shadows across his face, while the haunting question echoes in the silence of his empty restaurant, leaving viewers desperate to uncover the truth behind Grace's mysterious transformation and the secrets that still lie buried in their shared past.